We've been conditioned to believe that saying yes makes us lovable, helpful, agreeable, needed. But what it actually does, it drains your energy. It dulls your intuition. It puts everyone else at the center of your life except for you. And when you are juggling a career and kids and aging parents and relationships and divorce or hormones shifting like a roller coaster, that kind of self-abandonment, it's costing your health, your peace, and your confidence. This is a video I wish someone had made for me years ago because everything changes, and I mean everything, when you learn to say one small, powerful word. No. I get it. I'm a mom of 3, I homeschool, I run my coaching business, and I am navigating life after separation. For years, I said yes to everything. Yes to the responsibilities that weren't mine. Yes to events that drained me. Yes to friendships that no longer aligned. Yes to staying small, quiet, available, agreeable, and slowly I lost myself. During the pandemic, I gave birth to my 3rd, and I had gained 60 pounds, not from food, but from the emotional weight of saying yes when I needed to say no. Of course, you could say, oh, it was the COVID weight, but no, it was seriously years of not saying no to things in my life. The heaviness wasn't just on my body. It was on my calendar, my heart, my self-worth. The moment everything shifted, when I finally gave myself permission to protect my peace with the word no. This was not about willpower anymore. It was about taking back my empowerment. Stay with me to the end because one of my final boundaries I'm going to talk about is the one that took me years to face. And it changed my entire life. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. I said no to overcommitting just to be nice. Saying yes to every request, every invite, every favor, it doesn't make you a better woman. It makes you exhausted, resentful, and burnt out. When you're a mother, a caregiver, a partner, a business owner, a friend, a daughter, your energy isn't unlimited. Your bandwidth is real. Your nervous system has a capacity. But for some reason, as women, we think that we're going to get a trophy for being the nice one who does everything for everyone. Except the only trophy that you're getting is anxiety, sleep deprivation, racing thoughts at 2 a.m., cravings that feel uncontrollable, cortisol that never comes back down, and a body that's staying stuck in fight or flight because your calendar is in survival mode. We love to say being helpful feels good. Sure, until it's getting away with your sleep, your health, your peace, your ability to unwind, or your basic sanity. I ask myself one simple question before I say yes to anything now. Does this support my peace? Does this align with the woman I'm becoming? Does this keep my nervous system regulated, or is it going to spike my cortisol? This isn't just mindset. This is biology. Women over 40 cannot ignore the stress that we used to. Our hormones react differently now. Overcommitting isn't just an emotional burden, it's a physical one. Here's the rule I live by now. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And the people who truly care about you, they're going to adjust. They're going to respect you. And the ones who don't, they're just revealing themselves. And honestly, it's better to know sooner than later. I said no to friendships that didn't nourish me. Let me say something that might sound selfish at first, but it's just the dang truth. If a friendship isn't mutually supportive, energizing, or aligned, then what exactly is it giving you? I don't mean that in a transactional, what do I get out of this kind of way. I mean it in the emotional survival sense, because as a woman over 40, especially a mother of 3, my time, my energy, my nervous system, they're not limitless resources. They're not a communal donation bin. They're sacred. And for years, I had friendships that left me drained, anxious, or feeling like I actually had to shrink myself to keep the peace. Some friendships turned me into their emotional sponge. Some friendships made me feel like I was walking on eggshells. And some friendships left me feeling guilty or uneasy every time I walked away. Some friendships, as a mother, didn't align with my values that I hold with my kids in my home. And listen, this is not about being better than anyone. It's not about thinking someone is less than. It's not about judging how someone parents or lives or makes choices. It's about alignment. It's about the fact that when something feels off in your body, when you leave interactions feeling depleted instead of nourished, when you feel yourself shrinking, dimming, or performing or overgiving, that's your intuition speaking. Friendship should feel like nourishment and not like obligation. It should feel like ease, not guilt. It should feel supportive, not draining. It should feel like synergy, even if you're both in different places. When you have limited time and limited bandwidth, the people you choose to spend time with matter a lot. Because if I'm giving my time away from my kids, my business, my sleep, my creativity, then that space needs to be filling my cup, not poking holes in it. It's not selfish. It's self-respect. And saying no to friendships that don't align doesn't make you a villain. It makes you a woman who understands her peace, her energy, and her growth matter. And they deserve to be protected. I said no to perfection in my health. Back in the day as a personal trainer, I used to obsess about macros and workouts and perfect routines. But I've evolved. And now as a board certified health coach, I look at this in a whole nother way. In my own life and inside my private coaching, the real breakthrough doesn't come from perfect tracking. It comes from letting go of perfection altogether. I coach now imperfection. I coach the 80-20 rule, the real life rule, the I'm doing my best, and that's enough rule, because chasing perfection, it destroys us women over 40. It spikes your cortisol. It fuels shame. It makes you feel like if you're not doing everything, you're doing nothing. That mindset keeps more women stuck than any diet ever would. Now, my personal health looks like this. Protein every day, not perfect, just intentional. Walking. Do I get outside as often as I want? Honestly, no, I've been busy. So I hop on my walking pad during coaching calls. Done. Strength training. Do I get in as much as I want right now? No. And I'm not beating myself up about it. Food. I eat foods that feel good in my body. Do I hit that goal every day? No. Sometimes there's some pizza in there. Sometimes there's some French fries. And I'm not spiraling into guilt about it, because the woman who wins in the long term is not the woman who does everything perfectly. It's the woman who does things consistently, even if imperfectly. Progress always beats perfection, especially for us girls over 40. We've got the stress, the hormones, the cravings, the schedules, and responsibilities that all hit differently. The coaching philosophy I stand behind is real life is better than perfection. Imperfection is better than guilt. And progress is better than punishment. I said no to always being available. This one was hard because we live in a world where everyone expects instant access to us. Text messages, DMs, phone calls, group chats, family threads, Slack, WhatsApp, coaching clients, kids, work, life. And at this age, I feel like I am more or less society's customer service line. For years, I responded to everyone instantly. If the phone rang, I jumped. If someone needed something, I switched gears. If a message came in, I answered it even if I was in the middle of dinner, a thought, or a moment I desperately needed for myself. Here's what I've realized. Over availability, it's not kindness. It's self-abandonment. It trains everyone around you to expect more and trains you to expect less of yourself. I really had to claw my way out of this because what I realized is I am sensitive. If my phone rings, I get a hit of anxiety. If I'm scrolling Instagram, my nervous system starts spiraling. All that scrolling, the noise, the opinions, it dysregulates me. I made a powerful decision. My phone stays silent always. I check it when I choose to, not when it chooses me. I removed Instagram from my phone more than once. And yes, I'm a content creator. I run a business and I should be posting every day, but not at the cost of my sanity. Even with coaching, I put strict boundaries in place. I coach in specific blocks of time. My energy is contained. I don't spread it thin across the week. I have reset days built into my calendar. Every month, I take a week where I coach nobody at all. Here's what I learned. Just because you're reachable doesn't mean you should be accessed. I know that everyone doesn't have the same schedule flexibility, but everyone can set boundaries that honor their nervous system. Maybe for you, it looks like putting your phone on Do Not Disturb after 8 p.m., scheduling no tech zones, taking a walk alone without responding to anyone, telling your kids mom is unavailable for the next 20 minutes, blocking off a weekly recharge day, saying I'll get back to you tomorrow without guilt. You have permission to create a space between you and the world. When you stop being available 24/7, you stop living reactively. You stop being pulled in 100 directions. You stop running from one emotional fire to the next. You start protecting your peace. You start reclaiming your power. You start hearing your own voice again. Availability is not love. It's often just depletion with a smile. And you deserve better than that. I said no to my ego when it wanted to say yes. Oof. This one will humble you because saying no to the ego, that part of you that wants to be liked, praised, accepted, approved of, is one of the hardest boundaries you'll ever practice. We're wired to want harmony. We're wired to want to keep the peace. We're wired to want to avoid disappointing people. So our ego jumps in fast with a yes. Not because we want something, but because we want to be good, liked, approved of. Here's the truth I learned the hard way. Every time I said yes out of fear, I was abandoning myself. Saying yes to please people feels perfectly harmless in the moment until you realize how much of your life you've been giving away to soothe other people's discomfort. That's when I discovered something real powerful. Being honest sometimes disappoints people. Mel Robbins, in her book Let Them, says it perfectly. If somebody is disappointed by your boundary, your truth, your limit, let them be annoyed. Let them have feelings. Let them adjust. Let them misunderstand you in the short term. Because betraying yourself just to avoid disappointing someone else, that's the fastest way to destroy your confidence. Once I started saying no from a place of self-worth, not fear, everything changed. I stopped needing to be the nice one. I stopped needing to be universally liked. I stopped bending myself into shapes so other people would feel comfortable. I leaned into authenticity, even when it scared the crap out of me. This is the reason I'm doing the work I do now. People told me for years, don't put yourself online. People are going to judge you. You're going to get comments you won't like. Why would you share your story? Eventually, I had to say, no, I'm doing this because it's aligned with who I am, not because it's safe for other people's comfort. Do I get nervous every time I post a video? Yes. Do I struggle with the urge to please everyone? Absolutely. Do I think about the comments? Of course. But you know what else? I'm done betraying myself to fit inside somebody else's approval box. The right people will get me. The right people will resonate. The right people will stay. If you're here, thank you. And the ones who don't, keep on strolling. YouTube is a big place. The same is true in your life. Trying to make everyone happy will drain the ish out of you. Trying to keep everyone comfortable will suffocate your authenticity. Trying to be liked by everyone will kill your magic, because you were never meant to be for everyone. You're meant to be for the people who see you, support you, and uplift you. When you stop saying yes to protect your ego and start saying no from your worth, you become magnetic. You become powerful. You become aligned. You stop chasing approval and start attracting people who actually elevate your life. I said no to the idea that my needs don't matter. This one is big, and it's one of the hardest boundaries for women. For so long, I convinced myself that my needs were secondary, that I should be flexible, that I shouldn't ask for too much, that being a mother, a partner, a caregiver meant always putting myself last. When you keep shrinking your needs to keep the peace, you don't just lose connection with others, you're losing the connection with yourself. You deserve relationships, romantic, platonic, professional, family, where your needs actually matter, where your voice is being heard, where your emotional safety counts, where you don't have to minimize who you are just to fit the dynamic. Honoring your needs doesn't automatically mean walking away. Sometimes it means finally speaking honestly, asking for support, healing resentment, renegotiating the relationship, or choosing yourself in a new way. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here. What matters is this: you stop abandoning yourself to maintain something that no longer feels aligned. Because when you stop shrinking, you create a space to grow into the woman you were always meant to be. And I invite you to stay tuned, because I do have an upcoming video where I am going to talk about one of the biggest no's I ever made in my life and how it has completely changed my confidence, my identity, and my future. You won't want to miss that one. Listen, ladies, take charge of your life with that simple little word, no. It is more powerful than you think. Go out there and keep moving, keep glowing, and remember, you are sexy, strong, and unstoppable.